Thank you very much, Mr. Moses. Thank you. We ask that you please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going live on TR Communications, streaming to the diaspora and folks who are not able to make it here with us here at this time. I was hoping to sit and relax and enjoy myself in this particular lounge, but I haven't seen my MC as yet. I know the traffic is always very tight out there, so hopefully she'll get here soon. I'm not going to call her name. And I want to take this opportunity to briefly welcome you at this stage to the launch of KIKI, The Tales of a Mona Monkey, a book launch today here at the Trade Center. As you would be very much aware, my name is Sherma Wells, and I happen to, for some reason or the other, be the author of this book. Don't ask me how it happened, but it happened. It is a pleasure to be here. Dame Cecile Lagrenade and Leader of Her Majesty's Opposition, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Mr. Samir Kasari, Mr. Venezuela. You prefer that? Okay. And all other invited guests, family and friends, welcome, welcome one and all to this occasion. Today is going to be a day that we are going to really experience something with a difference, a launch with a difference, and I want to encourage you to relax and consider yourself as family as we explore the next hour and a half about this crazy monkey. Welcome one and all. Without any further ado, I'd like to ask our dear Alyssa Bazinski, representing the Grenada Publishers Association, to offer a few remarks here this afternoon. Please welcome her.
Ooh, 6 o'clock. So, good evening, Dame Cecile Lagrenade, Dr. Keith Mitchell, other invited guests, friends, family members, well-wishers, and the author of the hour, Sherma Wells. I'm Alyssa Bazinski, and I am representing the Grenadian Published Authors, Inc. We are a group of Grenadian authors, poets, writers, memoirists, novelists. We span the entire range of books that you can think of. As of June 12th, we had about 150 titles that we know of that have been written by Grenadians, of Grenadian descent and of Grenadian heritage. So we are very excited to congratulate Sherma on the publication of KIKI, The Tales of a Mona Monkey. We are so excited to have KIKI on our table very soon. So you can all find us at pop-ups around the country, selling our books, visit the table, support the table. I'm excited to see all of you here because it means that you are proud of Grenadian literature and you support Grenadian literature. And for those of you who are listening who can make the decisions, we need our public libraries back. Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Sherma, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. Folks, before we get into introducing our very precious MC, I just want to say that I'm very heartened to be embraced by that organization. They're after me to write more. I don't know if that will ever happen. You know, I'm not 20 years old, but you never know. I might just do something. But there's something special that I will share to you as we proceed for the afternoon. And I think it's a fitting time for us to experience a little bit of pan music just to set the tone and the mood before our dear beloved Brenda Hood. Brenda Hood. Brenda Batiste. I always mix the names up, take over the microphone. And she has not been chosen by accident. She has not been chosen on a flimsy thought. But I do believe that she happens to be, if not the best, one of the best female hosts in Grenada. So I leave the rest up to her. Well, let me introduce Andre Greenidge. I'm sure that you all are very familiar with him, probably the best Spanish as well. So we have the very best here in just about everything you can think about this evening. So do enjoy.
Thank you so much, Andre. Let's hear it again for one of our former Spanish. Your Excellency, Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor General of Grenada, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Leader of His Majesty's Opposition, other specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. So I know you have already been welcomed to the book launch. So I just take this opportunity to say something special about the author. Sherma B. Wells. You want to know what B stands for? I think she wants you to know. Beatrice. Sherma Beatrice Wells. Barbara. Is a renowned figure in Grenada with over 40 years of dedicated service in media and the cultural landscape. She has now extended her footprints as author. Known for her warm and friendly demeanor, traits that she shares with the Mona monkey she writes about, which includes the Mona monkey has brown golden eyes, so does Sherma, and a love for interaction and entertainment. Throughout her career, she has become an institution in Grenada, leaving a lasting impact on the local media and cultural scene, now literary. Her contributions have touched the lives of many, and her passion for her work continues to inspire others. She has inspired my life. I can call myself a mentee. I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank her for supporting my professional life, which has also bolstered areas of my personal life. Auntie Sherma, thank you for having my back in rooms where I was absent. I am humbled and honored that you have asked me to host your book launch, as your talent pool and contacts are wide and varied, and I am no match to some of them. Hearty congratulations, and I await the next publication. At this time, it is a pleasure to invite from the Woburn School a first reading from the book KIKI, feature reading, Simeon Benjamin. Simeon is 6 years old, an avid reader, a really good reader, and Simeon would join the author at the head table and deliver a passage from the book. Simeon?
He's little, so we have to. You want to stand up? You want to stand up or you want to sit down?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Today I'll be reading Chapter 12, Riding on the Bus. One morning, my sister Tammy took me on a bus. She wanted to go into the town to buy fruits and vegetables in the local market. Now the town is only about 15 minutes away if you drive yourself by car. Going by bus, however, is a different situation altogether. It takes forever.
It does.
There were very few people in our area, so the bus usually took a long time to load. The seating capacity of the bus was about 13 passengers, and there were just about 4 people already seated inside. So it was easy for Tammy and me to find a seat that we preferred. When the bus finally took off, the ladies in the back started up a conversation. They talked about how much rain there was these days, and the farmers who complained that their plants were getting too much water. It was somewhere in the middle of the rainy season, so of course, rain is always expected. When I lived in the rainforest, I loved the rain. I enjoyed sliding down on the wet leaves and had loads of fun trying to capture the shiny raindrops on the leaves. It also made us monkeys feel very cool whenever it rained. It is time for this rain to stop now, one of the ladies said. I'm glad for the water, the other lady said, because my water tank has been dried up for months, and the water company has been very reluctant to provide a steady water supply to us where we live. So I'm happy for the rain. Good for you, said the other lady. I am not so happy about this weather. I prefer it when it's hot and sunny and dry. The only thing I like about this hot and dry season is all the fruits that start bearing at that time, like mangoes, plums, and guava. Of course, my favorite fruit is banana, which is available all year round.
Thank you so much, Simeon Benjamin. And of course, we look forward to hearing more from you, Simeon, as you grow through life. Let's hear it for him one more time. A carriacou and Petite Martinique, very, very special to Auntie Sherma's heart. And so the next presentation, Let the Drums Beat, an ode to carriacou, Petite Martinique. Here's the presentation.
Dear people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, let the drums beat. Let the drums of the ancestors beat within your souls and remind you of the promise of tomorrow. Let the drums beat and remind you of the strength and fortitude of your ancestors. Let the drums beat and remind you of the battles of slavery to be freed. Let the drums beat and remind you of your rich cultural heritage. Let the drums beat and bring peace to your souls. Let the drums beat, sounding across every village and community, reaching the hearts of all. Let the drums beat through the broken houses with a promise to rise and build back stronger. Let the drums beat through the fallen trees and the promise to spring back their leaves. Let the drums beat for the children as they rise up to face each morning sun. Let the drums beat for the elders who worked to build your blessed lands. Let the drums beat for the youth who would walk the streets of tomorrow, remembering your resilience. Let the drums beat for your land that will rise from the ashes that Hurricane Beryl left behind. Let the drums beat, resonating across your isles, fulfilling the dreams of a better tomorrow. Let the drums beat. Let the drums beat. Let the drums beat.
The drums will beat, they shall beat once more, as carriacou restores, rebuilds, and replenishes Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has lots of calls on his time, as you can well imagine. I guess he's busier now than he ever was before. And as he often says to us, he can't sit down, right? So he has to leave us. So at this time, Ms. Wells would like to make a presentation to him of the book. Dr. Mitchell, you join Ms. Wells at the front. Thank you so much, Dr. Mitchell. Thanks for coming and enjoy reading. Ladies and gentlemen, we now enjoy a performance on the violin. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Jelani Moses. Our next reader is the author's granddaughter, and she claims that this book was written in her honor. So please welcome Sanaya.
Good evening, everybody. I will be reading from Chapter 1, My Capture, about the drive home with Vic. The drive from Vic's house in the village called Guave revealed many surprising things to me. Joe had a red car that was huge and roomy. I found myself being placed in his lap, petted and comforted for the first time after being cruelly detached from my sibling. I curled up in his lap with a mixture of fear and comfort, for it was the first time I had felt the warmth of another animal since being separated from my mother. I heard the sound of the engine roaring as the car sped through the countryside, screeching around the corners and hitting the occasional ruts in the road. I felt like a monkey that had been hit in the stomach with a coconut. I didn't have time to observe the view, for I had latched myself onto Joe's lap, praying for my life. Later, I heard the sound of another voice from somewhere inside the car, along with music which came from the same area. The beat was pulsating and Joe sang along with the voice at the top of his lungs. I eventually found out that the sound I was hearing was from something called a radio, and my interest was piqued because it was a new sound to my ears. Unlike the sweet, soothing sounds of the forest, it had its unique and soothing rhythms. The sound on the radio pulled at my little heart with a deep boom, boom sound. I thought there and then that humans were rather strange and lacked good taste in music. The ride to the city was indeed tiring. Although I slept part of the way, my tiny eyes often opened at the sound of other vehicles we passed, which seemed to zoom by with a rushing sound a million times louder than when my family would swing from tree to tree. Arriving at my new home was another experience that required me to further adjust to my new life. I was delivered to this lady and introduced as a special gift. "This is your new mother," Joe said. Well, 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 how on earth could this be my mother? I thought. She was nothing like my mother. She was much taller and rounder and looked similar to all the humans I had seen so far. I looked up into her eyes from where I stood, and in that moment recognized the same kind and caring expression in her eyes like I had seen in my monkey mother. She took me into her hand where I fitted snugly except for my tail, which was longer than my body. She caressed my back and said in a soft, peaceful voice, "I will call you Kiki." Drats, what a stupid name to call a monkey. Kiki. That just sounded like some fruit in the forest. I thought then that I did not need a name, but then I remembered that my mother did not get the opportunity to name me because I was only a few days old. I decided there and then to accept the name Kiki, even though I thought it sounded like some fruit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanaya. Anybody recognized whose hands the monkey landed in? Monkey looked up and recognized eyes as his own. All right. We move on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to perform opera solo, Amelia Wells Miller.
Good evening. I will be singing O mio babbino caro, which is an Italian aria. And basically, the girl is asking her dad if she can go marry this boy. Yes. And I'm going to stand over there.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Amelia. Let's give her another round of applause. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the reason why we've been invited here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mona Monkey, Kiki, the book, the author, Sherma B. Wells.
Good evening once again. Before I venture into telling you about the book Kiki, I first want to tell you about this precious animal called the Mona monkey. We live in Grenada, and we know about this little troublesome animal that lives within the rainforest. And that's about it. Some of us consume it. Some of us have it as a pet. The Mona monkey, based on my research, happens to be the only animal that was brought into Grenada during slavery. The only animal during slavery. That alone is enough for us to respect that particular animal. It was brought here by a sailor on a slave ship, and she was only one female who was pregnant, and he left her in Grenada. All the way from Ghana, she came. Pregnant. Maybe he didn't want the responsibility of having the babies. And he left her in Grenada. If you take a good look at the Mona monkey, you would see that they all look alike. Have you ever noticed that? They all have the identical features. Simply because there's one female monkey that came into Grenada. And of course, there you would have had interbreeding. So they all have the same features. And according to the scientists, they also have the same DNA as well. So you see one, you see them all. What is very interesting about the Mona monkey is that there are only 3 parts in the world where this monkey exists. Grenada is one of them. Ghana and the Cameroons. Isn't that not enough for us to protect this little animal? When we take all of that into consideration and understanding the tourist attraction that is created over the years, one wonders why not this little animal is not featured as part of a significant fauna of Grenada by tourism. Look at what is happening with the Mona monkey in the Grand Etang rainforest today. Just about every tourist that enters the Grand Etang forest, they want to have a picture with that monkey, as you see in here, and I'm sure you know of it. So it tells us that we have a sleeping tourism product waiting to be exposed to the rest of the world. If you have something that you could only find it in 3 places in the world, must be precious. So I'm hoping that we look at the Mona monkey differently, understand its potential and its value to Grenada. A few months ago, I heard someone from the Ministry of Agriculture saying that we need to eat the Mona monkey because it's, it destroys the farmers' produce, etc., etc. And I'm saying to myself, why would you have such a thinking? Why it is you can't find some other means of controlling the population besides telling people to eat such a precious animal? And I say precious because to me it is. So folks, next time you see that little fella who you may consider to be very troublesome, who may want to eat all the bananas in your backyard, show it a little respect. And I really hope that we can see it as a major tourism product to look into, to move forward. And if I may say this here at this time, I've invited officials from the GTA, I've invited the Minister of Tourism, Culture, etc. Unfortunately, they're not here, but I must say that the chairman of the GTA, Randy Dolan, who is unfortunately out of Ireland, and we will have a discussion on the Mona monkey when he gets back. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here today. So folks, I thought I would share that with you because, as they say, it is always good to be informed and know different things about different people and different in the world. But before I get into the actual book, I want to share what I consider one of my favorite chapters in the book. And there are lots of stories in this book. There's 17 of them. And I share this one with you. I would never for 1 minute think that monkeys like me should be considered the same as a baby. No, I've seen these things on babies, but never on a monkey. Before you wonder what I'm talking about, let me explain. We monkeys do not have much control over what we do. Going to the restroom is not part of our DNA, as they would say. So whenever I needed to do my business, I let it out anywhere at any time. For that reason, my mother decided to get me a diaper. You know that thing that they put on babies to catch whatever they do so they can be cleaned up properly? Now here was the problem. I had a tail. So how was my mom going to adjust this diaper thing to suit my tail? Well, guess what? My mother took a pair of scissors, cut a hole in the back of the diaper, and passed my tail through the hole. She then pulled the diaper up around me as they do with babies and stuck the sides together. So now I had to walk around with this white heavy thing on me. It was also a little bit cumbersome. I tried to pull it off, but my mother slapped me on the hand and told me, "Leave it alone. It's there for a reason," she would say. She was taking me out the same day and did not want me to embarrass her in front of her friends. So whatever I needed to do, I had to do it in this diaper thing. When the time came for me to do my business, did I ever go? I filled it up until it started to sag under my butt. It was not the greatest feeling in the world, but my mother was pleased since my diaper helped her to not look bad in front of her friends. Thereafter, whenever we were out in public, I was dressed off in a diaper to save my mother from embarrassment. Wearing a diaper could be a little bit intimidating. There was once this young guy who came up to me and he shouted to his friends, hey, come see this. I never knew that monkeys wore pampers. Look at this monkey, he's wearing a pamper." And he started to laugh. Is this what people call bullying? I was not sure, since I did not know if animals could be bullied. Nevertheless, he was laughing at me and my diaper and making all sorts of funny jokes. I was not a baby. I wasn't even sure I was older than him. How could he think that I was a baby? He just does not understand how we monkeys operate when it comes to using the toilet. We are not interested in where we are. We just do what nature says. Anywhere can be our toilet. Of course, if we live with humans, some of us may have to wear diapers sometimes to avoid making a mess of ourselves. Still, wearing a diaper does not make me happy. I like the freedom of being able to let loose whenever I feel like doing so, wherever I want. It is just human nature. Oh, sorry, it's just monkey nature. To do as you please when you want, that is the natural way to go. That's one of my favorite stories in the book. Now, Kiki has been written for persons who can read, anywhere from the age of 6, as you see, to my uncle who is in his 80s, because I got a call from him all the way from Calgary, and he said he just couldn't put on the book. The reason being, in this book, there is so much about Grenada in the book. Speak of Kiki going to Grandad's beach and bathing in that big open ocean for the first time and feel that he's going to drown and he's shivering, and the children playing on the beach, cricket, etc. You speak of Kiki talking about soca music, hearing it on the radio, or parang music at Christmas time, or eating ham. You even Kiki speaks about, and I'll give you a name, although the name is not in the book, when George Grant used to have his Sunday morning program, and Kiki is there waiting for the food to cook because he's smelling the aroma coming from the kitchen, and he's a bit upset that this man on the radio only talking politics and who thief and who corrupt. And so, there's so much there. Kiki goes on an island tour. He goes to the town that never sleeps and gives the perfect explanation, and the correct one, why the folks in Guave don't sleep. Because of the fishing industry. He goes to Victoria and speaks about the sunset. He goes to Bathway and talk about the reef, that you dare not bathe beyond that reef because you won't come back. He even speak about the old church in Grenville, which is no longer with us. And Kiki speaks also about St. David being a virgin parish and wanting to know why would a parish be a virgin. So there's so many stories that are told within this particular book as is of interest to all of us as Grenadians. And the folks out there in the diaspora, they are so happy for this because it brings so much of Grenada to them when they read it. And I hope that parents would read it to their children because there's a lot to tell within this book. To tell you a little bit about Kiki, I got him as a pet. And after living with us for over 2 years, I became convinced that they're so close to humans. Their mannerisms, their habits, their likes and dislikes. Kiki had a jealous streak over my children, and if they hug me too tight, he gets really upset. Yeah? Kiki, although I didn't write it in the book, actually used to call me by my name. Whenever I get home from work on an afternoon, if I don't go to speak with it in the cage, I would hear, Ama. And that was my name he would be calling out to me until I visit him. Amazing creature. Of course, you know that they have this pouch that they shove everything into. It's like a saving pouch. And I recall one day he was on the ledge in the house, and the little my bone been flying around, and he grabbed onto one and shoved it down in his pouch. And all of a sudden I heard a big screaming and running to me. Open the mouth and my bone sting it. The story is in the book. So there's so much to tell the experiences of this particular monkey. This book is dedicated to my granddaughter, my one and only granddaughter, Sanaya Berno. She said to me, Grandma, I'm going to sit on the head table with you because that book is dedicated to me. I couldn't say no. She rules the world, I can tell you that. But how did I get to write this book? I had a not I had, well, he's a big man now, a little nephew by the name of Noah Toussaint, who loved to read. And I said to him one day, I'm going to write a book for you to read. He's now a big man. And folks, it took me 14 years to write this thing. I started and I write. And then, of course, upon retirement, I decided to complete it. So he was the initiator, the inspiration. Of course, my sister, son, Marcel and Peter, they're here. And their granddaughters are here with them. So, folks, this book is not just another storybook. It is a book that tells a lot of stories of a monkey living with humans in Grenada. So I really hope that along the way, you will enjoy the stories that are told. Thank you so much. Well, folks, you know, I happen to be the last person to chat with you this afternoon. And, of course, I want to say this. There are some folks that I really have to offer my thank yous to. And I would like to start off by asking, well, the third person isn't here. My editor, Diane Mendez, she's here with us. Diane, can you please stand? Young people have a lot of talent in this country, and we have to embrace it. When I was completed, Sandy, and when I finished the book, I did get an editor's review from, I think the lady was out of Guyana, and I was looking for an editor, and funny enough, it's family as well. And I am so pleased with her skill as an editor. Thank you so much, my dear. The other person is Connie Herman, who did the formatting of the book. She's not here with us today. She isn't well. She did an excellent job of formatting the book, setting out the graphic work, and so on. But my greatest pleasure was to see how well the illustrator, the artist, was able to capture every story without a flinch from me. And that individual is also very young, Elizabeth Lander, who is here with us. The work of these young people, excellent, quality, standard. I am so heartened with the work that was done on this particular book. And when you look at it, you'll see it as well. So thank you very much, ladies. Guys, don't get jealous. Thank you so much. I want to go back to thank Dame Cecile Lagrenade for being here with us today. And I really appreciate you responding to my request, my invitation to be with us. Let's give her a round of applause. I love that lady. I also want to thank a young, vibrant, and author as well, Alyssa Brzezinski, for sharing some words here with us from her association. Milo is doing great things. Anelia Wells Miller, who is my little cousin, for that beautiful rendition. Not forgetting our violinist, Mr. Moses, thank you so much, and Andre Greenwich on pan. Patrick David, we're going to be having some little wonderful eats in a while. We want to thank him as well. TR Communication for bringing us live and, of course, providing screen and sound. Mr. Martin Bideau for the Trade Center, the use of the Trade Center. Excellent. Not forgetting our friend Martin Alexander, who is giving us great bar service over there, with a little later on. I also want to thank the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union for their financial services and support towards this project. And I left my dear friend, Samir Carrasquel, Gren Graphics. Go to FETS, Gary Louison, who is here with us, go to FETS, so you'll be seeing yourselves there. And the reason why I chose to do this vote of thanks for myself, I could have handed it to anybody else to just say thank you. But I want to share this with you. I met Sam a whole year ago at a Carnival Queen show, fashion show. And I said to him, you know, Sam, I wrote a book. He said, yes. He said, well, when you're ready, I'm going to sponsor you a launch. That was 1 year ago. And folks, let me say this to you. You know to say that the good you do will follow you? And I'm convinced that the good has followed me here this evening. Because as you witness a particular launch here today, every person who's involved here is here contributing to Sherma Wells. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Sam worked with all of them, pulled all of them together, and this is what you call a zero budget launch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite you to join us in a little cocktailish reception at the back. And please mingle and enjoy the company of everybody. I have a lot of family here from the U.S. here with us. And we also want to let you know that we do have books on sale, and every book purchase, we will donate, well, I will, $10 to the Carriacou and Petit Martinique Development Fund, Rebuilding Fund. That is what we'll do here today. But before we do that, I would like to make 2 presentations before we end this particular occasion. And the first presentation I'd like to make, and I make it not because she's a lady, but because she's a wonderful person who's always ready and willing to support you in the things you do. Please accept my little gift to you, Dame Cecile Lagrenade. And of course, folks, I did invite the Prime Minister this evening. Unfortunately, he's not here, but a presentation will be made to him as well. And they all are receiving hard copies, which is a limited edition of the book. How could I not extend thank you to my dear friend Sam the Venezuelan as well for all his work. Thank you, Sam. So, my dear friends, well-wishers, I hope that you enjoy the stories if you happen to purchase a book, and that you will not expect me to write the next one because I don't have any intentions. But anyway, you never know what brings your way. Once you're inspired. I also want to say this, that the little video that you saw of Carriacou, after the hurricane, I pondered into writing a message to the folks in Carriacou because I've been involved with Carriacou for a very long time. In the media, I would travel to Carriacou from Carnival to Parang, doing shows, Carnival, etc. And my heart really bled when this hurricane hit them. Knowing how much the people of Carriacou offered their homes and their love to me, I felt obligated to write something to them. And I started by writing a simple little message. And then for some reason I became very poetic, and it ended up being a poetic piece. And I did put it out on Facebook. And I sat there and I said, come on, Sherman, you could do better than that. Use your voice to speak to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So I voiced it. And then I said, well, why not put some music and some drumming to it? And the drumming that you hear in the video came from Carriacou, from one of their Maroon Fests. It's not no foreign drumming. The drumming is from Carriacou. And I feel the need to say to the folks out there, I'm there for you. I may not be able to be there physically, but I'm there spiritually with you, watching you as you crawl out of the ashes that has been given to you by Hurricane Beryl. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We want to ask our Governor General to be escorted so that she can have a little wetting of the lips and the tongue. Eh? Of course, we are here for another, the ladies are there for in case you want to purchase books. You can certainly come back and do so. And then, of course, the rest of us can follow once the Governor General gets settled in. Did you have a wonderful time, people? I love you all. Let's mingle and let's have a good time. Books are available on sale. The soft copies are $60. We do not have any more hard copies, but there have been people requesting hard copies, and we will get some soon. All right? So do enjoy. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. You did well.